Hi, my name is David, and I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWP practice problem 13.9. So first off, we're going to use variables d and shell thickness because there's a part B where we have to modify these variables. In fact, that's all we're going to do for part B, so it's pretty straightforward. One thing to notice is that the shell thickness is 5 millimeters for part A, and the only 5 millimeter shell thickness is this one in the back. The shell thickness in the front looks like it's 10, and in the back of my mind I was wondering, is this like 5 times 2? Is it a formula going on here? But turns out no, in part B it's also 10 for the front. So the only shell thickness that changes from part A to part B is this 5 shell thickness from the backside. So also we're going to create separate bodies for the triangle solid in the front and the circular solid in the back. And this is because we need to perform two separate shell operations. One of them with a thickness of 10 and one of them with a thickness of 5. And we don't want a shell in one solid to spill over into the other solid. So when we extrude the second body, which in our case will be the triangle, we're going to unselect the merge results checkbox to make sure it's a separate body. And finally, we're going to use straight cuts for the 3 small circles of the triangle. And this is going to make sure that the shelling on the front side works as expected. So we're going to use straight cuts with like the smaller of these circles to make sure that the shell thickness all the way around is 10. And then we're going to apply a draft from the back side to the front side, drafting outward so that it cuts out, doing a cut extrude with a draft, it cuts out this wider circle from the front circles of the triangle. So you can see that because the shell thickness right here is 10, but then if you look at the thickness right here, it's a little bit narrower. It is 10 though if you look from the inner circle to here. So this distance right here would be 10 going around. But then the draft is going to make that draft cut that we're going to use is going to make that little thickness a little bit smaller. So shell the front first, then we're going to draft later. All right, well, that's enough talking for now. We're going to start in the front plane, and we're going to make all of this in the front plane. Okay. We'll start with the big giant circle, diameter 200. We'll make the inner circle, which we don't know the diameter of. That's okay. And then we'll make a circle up here. That's got diameter 60 for part A. And that is going to be tangent to the top and tangent to this circle here. And you can see how that automatically grows this circle. Now one thing too is we want to make sure that these circles are vertical to each other. And now we're fully defined. Now we said that we're going to be using variables, and one way, if you don't see the equations folder here and you don't want to be bothered to go to tools and equations, one clever way that you can create the variable from the dimension that you just set is double click on it, hit equals quote d quote, hit enter, and it'll ask you if you want to create a new global variable named d. So you can just say yes and hit enter, and now you can see in your equations folder pops up and you've got d set to 60. So that's pretty cool. We'll do the same thing for shell thickness when it comes time to set that variable. Now, we do want to create this 60 right here is going to be the one that's tangent to the top and also the center circle. But we do want to create these circles to make the cuts for these 3 circles. And those ones, if we look at it, for those ones, there's the distance from the inner circle, the center circle, to this circle up here is 10. And it looks like it's symmetric, so I'm assuming that this is also 10 in the top. Everything looks symmetric here in this front view as well. So 10 on the bottom, 10 on the top. So that would go from a diameter of 60, or d in general, to a diameter of d minus 10 minus another 10. So that's like d minus 20 for that diameter. So let's make this circle here d minus 20. And that'll automatically adjust in part B then. So now we wanted to take these 2 circles. We want to do a circular sketch pattern. And it automatically grabs the origin to rotate about, but let's be explicit about it and actually click so that it's populated here. That helps to fully define things. We also only want 3 of them, and we'll go ahead and dimension the angular spacing between them. Also helps fully define, and everything's fully defined, so that's good. We can't accidentally rotate or like move things around. Great, so now let's start connecting these circles with the lines, and I'll see if I can grab the tangent. There we go. So click and drag off of that. See if I can grab the tangent here. Good. Waiting for that yellow tangent relation to kick in. There we go. And it complains about automatic relations inferred by this operation would overdefine the sketch. They will not be added. It's okay. It just doesn't include those relations. We're fully defined and everything looks good. So now let's extrude the back solid. So for that, we're going to have this circle on the outside, this circle on the inside, and we're going to extrude 25. There we go. And then we can work on extruding the triangle front face. So one thing here is that the sketch is now hidden inside that extrude. Remember that you can right click, go to tree display, show flat tree view, and it'll flatten that out. So the sketch will always be there available for your future features. And since we drew everything into that one sketch, it's kind of nice to have it out there handy to be able to click on it, hit extrude. I have Control E set for my shortcut. And now we're going to offset by 25. Oops. Yeah. Let me try this again. Extrude. Offset 25. And then we're not going to merge with the result. And we're going to grab everything inside here except for those inner circles. So we're actually going to include the center circle, but not these inner circles. You kind of look carefully at what needs to be shelled. There we go. This is the thing that's going to be shelled, because all the inside part is shelled out. All right, so that's looking pretty good. So now let's shell the inside part. And let me do that. So here, whoops, we'll go to shell. We're going to do a thickness of 10 for the front. So 10 thickness for the front. And accidentally hit E there. Okay, so 10. And we're going to do the front. Now we have to open up the front face and the back face. And that's going to look pretty good. Now these parts we're going to fill it in later. So we'll do that when we're having a little filleting festival. But now let's take the backside and try to think about shelling that. Before we do that, we need to make sure that we have these circles cut out. And we're going to cut those circles with the draft of 5 so that we not only update the front, but we also create some kind of angled surface to create what we're seeing right here. So we're seeing a little bit of draft on these shelled parts, right? Close to the circles, there's a little bit of draft. You can see like a curve here and then another curve here. So because you can see these two curves, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Because you can see those two curves, you know that there's some kind of draft happening right there, or it appears to be at least. Whereas over here, not so much. So we're going to cut these circles with the draft so that we have the angle to create these angled parts of the shell, if that makes sense. All right, so let's then do, whoops, let me grab the sketch. We'll do an extrude cut with these 3 circles. And we're going to do a through all, draft it 5 degrees. Now this is drafting in the wrong direction. It's making it get smaller as it goes from the back side to the front side. So we're going to draft outward. That'll make it bigger. And that's looking good. So you can see from the front view now that shell thickness got narrowed because of the draft cut. Here it was 10, here it's a little bit smaller. Okay, so now we have the 3 circles in the back, so now we can work on shelling the back. And here it's 5, but we want to set this to a variable. So we're going to go equals, quote, shell thickness, enter. Create a new variable, yes, and it's already populated to 5 because we just populated it to 5, so we can, we're okay there. And then we're going to click on this face. We just want to open up that face. We don't want to open up the back face of that, or the front face, I guess. So that should nicely shell out this backside here. I noticed that without doing the draft also, I ran into some errors when trying to do the shell. I think it had something to do with the intersection between these circles only being like a line because they're all tangent. Not exactly sure, but in any case, definitely draft the circle cuts first and then make sure to do the shell afterwards on the back. Okay, so now we can work on our fillets. Let's see what the fillets look like. So the fillets are going to be R10 on both sides. Now we do have 2 separate bodies, so it usually complains if I try to do fillets all together at once. It was complaining to me earlier, so we're going to do 2 separate fillet operations. And I also tried doing it with faces, but it didn't seem to work, so I'm just going to grab each of these little lines right here. Even with the X-ray vision, it's sometimes hard to get them. Ooh, that one. I grabbed that one. See if I can get any of these. Okay, got that one. And this one here. That one there. Ah, got that one. Very good. Okay, this one's not showing up for me. So I'll do that and that. And I think there's one more over here. Ah, good. Got it. Okay, 4 of them for each of the circles. So that's 12 altogether. So there we go. So that's the fillet for the back. Let's do the fillet for the front. There are 2 for each one. Here, 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 and here. Great. Okay, so looking pretty good. Let's check what we got here. 422.545.52. 422.545.8 cubic millimeters. Definitely going to call that a win because it's only off by like 0.28 cubic millimeters. So that's looking pretty good. So then we're on to part B. And part B is super straightforward because all we have to do is change the variables. D, turn it into 80, shell thickness to 7 millimeters. And those are the only things that are going on here. Those are the only changes going on. Okay, I'll save it before I forget. All right, so let's go right-click and manage equations. We'll change D to 80, shell thickness to 7. Click OK. Everything will update like crazy, and our volume is 506.414.52. 506.414.7. So again, super duper close. I'd call that a done problem. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and keep studying.